us on.
There he goes.
All right, do I have a motion to come out of?
Motion.
Motion second.
All right, motion made, Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Morrison. Let the record reflect no action was taken. Our additional business to be discussed.
One item, gentlemen, and this, purchase clerk asked me to give you guys this information about our fuel situation. As you know, diesel supplies are incredibly sketchy. The cost of diesel is through the roof, and there's been a lot of attention paid to how we make sure that we can get our hands on whatever available diesel fuel supplies there. She just wanted me to pass along to you that it may come to a point in time where we actually have to ask you guys to step in and maybe look at an emergency situational purchasing. We're working the channels and we're trying to keep our suppliers where we need them to be for us, but we're just keeping you guys posted. I quizzed Bridget this morning. She thinks we're probably okay up to the 15th at this point, and then we'll revisit it again, but just be aware that we may be coming back and asking you guys to help us so that we can make emergency purchases without having to worry about compliance with the bid law.
All right,
I will say your state guy that oversees all of that, he's very encouraging. We was on the radio with, Gallo, with Gerald, and they said that we're in a great position because we have two major pipelines coming through here, and the Mississippi really shouldn't suffer, but be aware that we could. He was really encouraging that Mississippi would have plenty of diesel.
is there any news on our audit deal?
Yes, I have a phone call that I owe to our friends, Ms. Palmer Three at State Audit. She's waiting for me to call her. That came in too late today on Friday for me to call her. So I'm supposed to be having a phone call with her. And so I'll probably send you guys out an email, let you know where we stand on that.
Do y'all know
Well,
what's going
I
on?
think we need to do more than just sit back. I mean,
We had a meeting
hopefully
with
he won't
them.
come in, hopefully he changed his mind on his path he was
We-
taking.
When I have my conversation with Ms. Palmer Creek, my intention will be to ask her for permission to let us go and make a retention of an auditor ourselves.
Yes.
And allow them the opportunity then just to tell us that they can live with that.
All right.
Okay? And, we'll see where that goes. I'm not gonna ask, I'm not telling you guys anything that I know for certain will happen.
Yeah.
But I feel confident that they want to work with us.
All right.
Can I add one thing?
Yep.
Timmy, talk about Palo Verde. I know I didn't prepare you for this, but can you talk about Palo Verde? You stay ready on that. And the reason I say that, I know we were doing samples and all on that road, kind of where we're at, because we need to be.
We've gotten the first set of samples in
Yeah.
from Burns Cooley Dennis.
Yeah.
And, basically, phase one, looks like has both the layers of asphalt on it. I'm not sure they meet the plans yet, and there's a reason for that. In the original construction drawings, they had three options for their typical section. And one of the things they could do was lime treat the top 6 inches, and they could cut a 1/2 inch of asphalt off. I don't know if they lime treat it, and that's something Burns Cooley's doing some additional testing on right now to find out, to see if they actually, because the lawyers indicated they wanted to know if they met the construction drawings for phase one and phase two. So, if there's lime treatment there, it looks like most of the borings have got close to 6 inches of asphalt, which should be 5.5 or 6. I don't remember the exact details, but that lime treatment would be critical. If they didn't lime treat it, then they're probably short on that. But, in phase two, it doesn't appear that any of the, the surface course was put down. And what Burns Cooley's doing some additional testing on now is we've run into some clay. It's mostly all clay out there. Some of it's not expensive clay though. And so in order to figure out how to conquer this and get it right from now on, we need to figure out what that material actually is. What's the prescription gonna be to get it fixed right? So they're doing that additional testing now. I would fully expect to have something this week and then be able to talk about it at that point.
What are y'all doing, still putting the 610 down?
We just kind of, I think Mike's just trying to kind of maintain it right now as best we can, but we need to get in there to do the work to get phase one right, drivable, all set. along with phase two, because they should be through with the heavy truck traffic around those houses, or pretty close to it.
Right.
But I know our goal was, when we told the HOA guys when they were here, I don't know if it's HOA or just residents, I can't remember if it's actually, I think it's just residents, that we would try our best to get stuff done by the Thanksgiving time frame. We took a little longer, that crew, not your guys, but the crew we hired to come in to get the reports back.
Right.
I just don't need a delay once we get the reports back from you, and Slay blesses it for Harrison to go ahead and get to work on the road to get it where we need to get. So I don't know if we need to do something today contingent on what you get. I don't need the long gaps in board meetings to be able to get in and go to work and just sit there and hold stuff. So
The purpose for the reports and the reviews was to document the condition before we got in there and substantially altered it.
Okay.
Because then we would lose the ability to prove that the developer he would just simply say, you don't have any proof.
All
And
right.
I can't go in and
Right.
disprove.
all right, so let me ask you this. So once Tim gets his hands on the paperwork, everything he needs, Mike can go to work getting it right.
I'm satisfied when I've got a full report from Burns Cooley.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied to turn Mike loose to fix phase one.
Okay. You give
When
that,
you say fix phase one, are we talking about,
get it to county standards. I mean, to where, yeah.
Whatever you guys bless and authorize, whatever you communicate to Mike, however y'all want that done, there needs to be good communication, Mike, Tim, and you guys. We believe that this is what needs to be done to get phase one into a condition where it will be stable for some period of time. We don't have to keep going back in there and fix.
and phase one is the part that the county accepted,
Yes.
and the phase
Yes.
two part is,
Not accepted.
Well,
But from that same point, part of that discussion was that we would go in and work on phase two to get it drivable, because now you have access to where cars can't go down it. I mean, there's whatever. So the money we're spending in phase two, which is an unaccepted phase of that subdivision, Mike, if I miss this, tell me. It's an unaccepted phase. We're doing work in there and spending money. Mike's just running a ticket on that number, to where the
And that's-
cost of that is.
gonna be reflected
And
back
we're-
to
and-
the.
Yeah, and back to those, in some form or
Developer.
fashion in the lawsuit we have, that's gotta go back. So work he's gonna do in phase two, that'll kinda go back around the same paperwork that Tim's got, but he can go in and work at that point, right?
The lawyers agree that it is in the best interest of the county to pursue a recovery against the developer for both phase one and phase two. Despite the fact that we may have a much more difficult time establishing liability on the developer for phase one, we may have a hard time with that. We think it's in the best interest of the county to try. Phase two, we feel really good about. We've never accepted it.
Because
It's still the
here's
developer's
our issue on
responsibility.
phase two. He should be maintaining that himself
Correct.
as a developer. Because he's missing his duties, we're having to do it to keep public safety in that area. So that's kind of where we're at. So will you be sure you let us know, or be sure Slay knows when you get your final reportings?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
would hope to have that sometime this week.
Okay.
And I think we've got another board meeting, early next week too, so.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? All right, do I have a motion to recess to November 15th?
Second.
All right, motion made by Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Gaines. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Recess to 15th.